And I found this video. I pressed play.
He needs to be stopped immediately.
What if I told you the New York Ripper storyline in Dexter? Resurrection is echoing one of the most disturbing true crime cases of the internet age. I'm talking about Netflix's Don't Fuck with Cats, hunting an internet killer.
I wasn't gonna stop until I found him. I've got this fucker.
The documentary that shocked the world by showing how a sadistic killer left cryptic clues online, while an army of obsessed internet detectives tried to hunt him down. Now here's the crazy part. The exact same dynamic is unfolding in Dexter. We have a killer who taunts from the shadows. We have breadcrumbs scattered across scenes. And we have an obsessive fan base, just like the Facebook detectives in Don't Fuck with Cats, piecing together every hidden detail to crack the case.
Thousands of people looking to find this guy. There was a tidal wave of leads that were coming in.
I wasn't gonna stop until I found him.
From Blessing's mom's eerie cat statues, to Gigi's suspicious arm injury, to the whispers that the Ripper's identity might be passed down like a family curse, the connections are too chilling to ignore. And once you see them, you'll never look at Dexter the same way again.
They all have to die. I need to sever all ties to this group as soon as possible. But right now, I have to convince them that I sever innocent people's heads.
The first link between the two stories is performance. In Don't Fuck with Cats, Luka Magnotta staged his crimes like movies. He wanted an audience. He wanted to be infamous. Every object in the background and every poster, every song was a deliberate clue. And Dexter has always been about performance too. Dexter Morgan himself pretends to be a normal dad while secretly killing. The Bay Harbor Butcher was a vigilante performance for Miami. And now, the Ripper's presence feels theatrical, almost staged for an audience. Then there's the obsession of the crowd. In Don't Fuck with Cats, thousands of internet detectives zoomed into screenshots, obsessed over tiny reflections in windows, and spent months piecing together fragments of truth.
But for me, there's a lot of information in there. You see a door, a bed, a table. You see a door handle, a light socket, electrical receptacles.
And those are things that we know can point to like maybe a specific area of the world. Wall sockets in England are different than they are in California.
And that's exactly what's happening in Dexter's fandom right now. Viewers are freezing frames, zooming into props, theorizing about scars, statues, and background details. The show is almost daring us to act like the Facebook detectives, to lose ourselves in the hunt. And then comes the cats. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the killing started with animals. Cats were the symbol, the horrifying gateway. Luka Magnotta's cruelty was first spotted when he targeted kittens online. In Dexter, the writers keep lingering on Blessing's mom's cat statues. Innocent background decoration, or an intentional nod to the same kind of symbolism that revealed Magnotta's dark side? Let's talk about the cat statues because this detail is too eerie to brush off. Blessing's mom's home is filled with them. Rows of glassy-eyed felines staring in silence.
Time for cats. As many of you know, my mother-in-law adored cats. So she just channeled all of that love into collecting.
At first, it just feels creepy. But when you frame it against Don't Fuck with Cats, the meaning shifts. What if these statues aren't just props? What if they represent the Ripper's beginning, a symbolic reminder that every killer has an origin story? Just like Magnotta's crimes started with animals, maybe the statues are Dexter's way of showing that this Ripper began in a household obsessed with cats, cruelty, or superstition.
If this were a dog, it'd be barking at me.
And the show isn't subtle about it. The camera lingers. The atmosphere thickens. It wants us to notice. Think about it. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the online detectives solved the case by obsessing over things no one else paid attention to. A blanket pattern, a cigarette pack, a vacuum cleaner.
But then, holy shit, that's a yellow vacuum cleaner. That's only sold in North America.
The tiniest background detail became the key to catching the killer. So why would Dexter Resurrection keep pointing us toward those statues unless they matter? Maybe the Ripper is tied to Blessing's family. Maybe those statues are trophies. Or maybe they're the key to understanding why the killings stopped. But the most chilling theory of all centers on Gigi. Ever since episode 8, fans have pointed out her arm injury. The kind of scar that looks like it could have come from violence, or even a mistake during a kill.
What happened to your arm?
New Year's Eve happened. Some drunk idiot ran my motorcycle. Worst part is the nerve damage left my hand stuck like this.
And here's the strange part. The Ripper's spree stopped 5 years ago. Around the same time, Gigi's life seems to vanish into mystery. Could the injury explain the silence? Did the Ripper stop because they physically couldn't keep going? Or here's an even darker twist. What if Gigi isn't the Ripper at all, but the daughter of the original one? That idea ties directly into Don't Fuck with Cats, where Magnotta toyed with the internet by hinting at accomplices, second killers, and phantom shadows working alongside him. It was misdirection, manipulation, and it kept the detectives chasing their tails. Dexter Resurrection could be pulling the same trick. Maybe the Ripper we fear now is not the one from the past, but the heir to a legacy of violence. If that's true, the Ripper's story becomes generational, a family curse passed down, the same way Dexter's darkness was passed from Harry's code to Harrison. That would make Gigi's role not just suspicious, but inevitable. And here's where it all comes full circle. In Don't Fuck with Cats, the internet detectives became the real stars of the story. The documentary wasn't just about Luka Magnotta. It was about the thousands of people who got sucked into the obsession of catching him. They weren't trained cops, but they acted like investigators, losing themselves in screenshots and wild theories. And right now, that's us. We are the detectives in Dexter Resurrection. We're combing through every frame, obsessing over props, debating Blessing's family, dissecting Gigi's arm. The writers know it. They're feeding us these details the same way Magnotta fed clues to his audience. And that's what makes it chilling. Because if we're the detectives, we're also the audience the Ripper is performing for. Every clue, every whisper, every cat statue, it's bait. The question isn't just, who is the Ripper? The question is, why are they putting on a show for us? And maybe that's the darkest twist of all. So what do you think? Are the cat statues Dexter's way of pulling a Don't Fuck with Cats on us? Is Gigi the heir to the Ripper legacy? Or is the show daring us to realize we've been the target all along?
This is a much easier way to vet my victims. Time to hear the tale of Rapunzel.
All right, I hope you like my little movie, Mr. Prater. Scary.
It finally happened. Al knows Dexter Morgan's darkest secret. For 7 episodes, we thought Al was nothing more than comic relief. A bumbling serial killer dad with a fanny pack and corny jokes. But in episode 8 of Dexter Resurrection, the truth began to surface. Al isn't clueless. He isn't naive. He knows Dexter killed the entire serial killer club, and he just might be the most dangerous person Dexter has ever faced.
Ponytails, Al's fetish, his need. He's going to kill this woman on camera, and I have to sit here with these monsters while they enjoy every fucking minute of it.
But how did Al, the unlikeliest member of the Killers Club, piece together what even Batista and the Miami police never could? And what does this mean for Dexter's future? Let's break it down. Episode 8 sets the stage with a moment fans almost overlooked. Dexter calls Al, pushing him to meet up after the Hamilton play.
Hey, Red.
Hey, Al.
How you doing? You know, I've been meaning to check up on you.
You wanna grab a drink tonight?
Oh, pal, I would, but you know what? I'm seeing Hamilton tonight.
On the surface, Al plays along. He says he'll be there. But when the play ends, Dexter is outside waiting. And Al never shows.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, where the fuck are you?
Instead, Al gives Dexter the excuse that he left halfway through.
I'm so sorry, Red. Hamilton, not what I signed up for. You know, it's a rap show. I couldn't understand a damn word they said. Total waste of money. I took off at intermission.
But here's the kicker. The more you look at it, the more it feels like he was never there at all. He didn't flake. He vanished. He slipped away from Dexter entirely, and slipping away from Dexter is almost impossible. Dexter's reaction tells the story. He's furious. Not just disappointed, furious. And then comes the detail that changes everything. As soon as the call ends, Al tosses his phone out the window, cutting all contact with Dexter for good.
Take care of yourself, okay, pal?
That single move isn't random. It's calculated. It's the move of someone who knows exactly what kind of predator is on his tail. For weeks, fans bought into Al's image as a goofy, harmless dad. The guy with cargo pants, a fanny pack, and an endless supply of corny dad jokes. But episode 8 flips that narrative on its head. Because here's the truth. Al's bubbly personality isn't who he is. It's a mask. Think about it. This man has been hiding in plain sight for years, evading suspicion from his family, his community, and even law enforcement. That's not luck. That's skill. That's calculation. It's the exact same trick Dexter used during his years in Miami. Be friendly. Be relatable. Make people underestimate you. That way, when bodies start piling up, you're the last person anyone suspects. And if Al's cover story sounds familiar, it should. He's almost a mirror image of Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer, a family man, outwardly wholesome, who secretly lives a double life as a murderer.
I was wrong. Trinity's a husband, a father. He's like me.
Fans have been quick to make the comparison, and it makes sense. Trinity was widely considered Dexter's greatest villain. The writers know that. They're deliberately laying the groundwork. And Al's survival in episode 8 might be the clue that he's destined to play that same role in Resurrection. Because here's the key point. Killers don't survive Dexter. They never have. The table is always final. And yet Al walked away. That alone proves he's more formidable than he first appeared. So how exactly did Al connect the dots? It comes down to 3 critical details. First, he's the last man standing. Every other member of the serial killer club is dead. The pattern is too obvious to ignore, and Al knows it. Second, Dexter pushed too hard. His constant invitations, his insistence that they meet after the Hamilton play, it all set off alarm bells. Serial killers operate on instinct, and Al's instincts were screaming that Dexter was circling in on him. Third, and most important, was Al's reaction. Tossing the phone wasn't just paranoia, it was self-preservation. A final break with Dexter before it was too late. And that act speaks volumes. Al knows he's in danger. The bubbly act? Gone. The clueless smile? Fake. For the first time, we saw the mask slip, and the cold, calculating man underneath. And if Al really knows that Dexter killed the rest of the club, then this isn't just about survival anymore. This is about revenge, about evening the score, and that makes him a threat unlike any other.
They all have to die. I need to sever all ties to this group as soon as possible. But right now, I have to convince them that I sever innocent people's heads.
When Al drove off at the end of episode 8, it wasn't a goodbye. It was a promise that he'll be back. And when he returns, he won't be the goofy side character anymore. He'll be the villain. Fans are already speculating that Al will become the Trinity figure of Dexter. Resurrection. The family man with a dark secret. The mirror to Dexter himself. And let's be honest, that dynamic is exactly what made Season 4 the greatest in the franchise. If the writers play this right, Al could become Dexter's most dangerous enemy yet. Because unlike Batista or the police, Al doesn't need proof. He doesn't need evidence. He knows the truth. And that knowledge makes him lethal. Think about the stakes here. Dexter has always stayed one step ahead of law enforcement, but facing someone who operates like him, someone who knows how he thinks, how he hunts, how he kills, that's a different battle entirely. And that's why fans are convinced Al isn't gone. He's being set up for a major role in Season 2, a role that could push Dexter into the most dangerous chapter of his life yet. For years, Dexter has lived by one rule: stay invisible. Keep the dark passenger hidden. But Al changes the game. Because Al isn't chasing him with a badge. He isn't chasing him with warrants or evidence. He's chasing him with understanding. Al knows what Dexter really is. He's seen the pattern. He's felt the danger. And unlike cops or detectives, Al doesn't need to play by the rules. He can move in the shadows, just like Dexter. That's what makes this twist so terrifying. For the first time in Resurrection, Dexter isn't just hunted by law enforcement. He's hunted by another predator, one who knows exactly how he thinks. And that's why fans are drawing the inevitable comparison to Arthur Mitchell. Trinity forced Dexter into a war he barely survived, and Al could easily play that same role in Season 2. A family man on the surface, but underneath, a relentless enemy who knows exactly how to strike. So what happens next? If Al really knows Dexter killed the entire serial killer club, then every move Dexter makes from now on is under threat. He can't relax, he can't hide, because Al is out there waiting. And here's the thing, Al's survival wasn't an accident. The writers didn't let him walk away by chance. They've built him up for something bigger. Al might have just gone from comic relief to the single most dangerous threat in Dexter's new life. And that changes everything. So here's the question. If Al really knows Dexter's darkest secret, what's his next move? Does he disappear forever? Or does he come back for revenge, ready to expose Dexter for what he really is? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you're still watching, type Al knows down below so I know who the real Dexter fans are. And remember, tread lightly.
What if I told you the New York Ripper wasn't just one killer, but two? Dexter. Resurrection may have just revealed the darkest twist yet, and the evidence will make you question everything you thought you knew about this show. Because from Blessing's mom's eerie cat statues, to family secrets that refuse to stay buried, to the shocking possibility that Gigi herself is the Ripper's daughter, the clues are stacking up. And once you see the connections, you'll realize this theory makes way more sense than the internet's favorite suspects.
She thought she could run. She didn't have anywhere to go in that shitty little house of hers. All she could do was cower in her own bed, your sweet little
Fans
sister.
thought they cracked the case when the show revealed the Ripper's voice in episode 7. It was chilling, a ghostly whisper that seemed to haunt victims long after the crime. But here's the catch. The Ripper hasn't been active in the present timeline. No physical attacks, no new kills. Just the voice, taunting from the shadows. That silence is terrifying, because killers like this don't stop. They wait. But what if the Ripper we hear isn't the same Ripper who started it all? What if Dexter, Resurrection has been quietly building toward the reveal that the Ripper is actually two killers, one who began the legacy and another who refuses to let it die? Some fans already theorize that Leon Prater isn't the Ripper himself, but the one keeping the ghost alive, using recordings, misdirection, and manipulation to torment victims while carrying out his twisted obsession. And if that's true, then we might not just be chasing a single face, but a legacy passed down through two very different people. This brings us to one of the strangest background details in the series, the cat statues in Blessing's mom's collection. At first, they seem random, maybe just set dressing, but Dexter has never wasted set details like that. What if the cats are symbolic trophies, each one representing a victim or even a metaphor for 9 lives stolen by the Ripper? Think about it. Dexter has always used physical objects as markers of hidden darkness. Harry's code, Trinity's rituals, Dexter's own slides of blood. These cat statues might be the same kind of clue. A quiet reminder that the family is tied to death, whether Blessing realizes it or not. And here's the pun fans won't be able to ignore. If Blessing really is linked to the Ripper's crimes, is it a blessing or a curse? It would be the ultimate irony if Blessing carried the family stain, trapped between the innocence of his name and the curse of his bloodline. But the theory doesn't stop there. Let's talk about Gigi. Her role in the show has always felt deliberate. She's close to the chaos, yet the writers keep her background murky. And in Dexter, when someone's past is left unanswered, it's rarely an accident. What if Gigi is actually the Ripper's daughter? This would fit perfectly with the show's themes. Dexter and Harrison, Trinity and Jonah, the sins of the parent bleeding into the life of the child. It's a recurring idea in the Dexter universe. Children inheriting darkness they never asked for. If Gigi is the Ripper's daughter, it explains her placement in the story. She's not just a side character, she's a living connection to the very mystery haunting New York. Her existence ties directly into the generational curse that keeps the Ripper's name alive. And imagine the emotional twist. Gigi discovering her father was the most feared serial killer in New York's history. It would turn her into both victim and suspect, heir and hunted. So how does it all fit together? Prater manipulates from the shadows, carrying the Ripper's voice, his weapon, his legend. Blessing's family hides subtle markers of death in their home, cat statues that may be silent trophies of a killer's legacy. Gigi stands as the possible daughter of the Ripper, the biological heir to his darkness. Together, these three threads create a chilling picture. The Ripper is not a single man, but a curse passed on through family, disciples, and bloodlines. That's why the Ripper feels unstoppable, because even if one dies, another rises to keep the name alive. Here's where the theory gets truly terrifying. What if the Ripper is less of a man and more of a myth? A curse that can be carried by anyone willing to take it on. Think about it. The drunk driver who killed Prater's parents admitted he was a serial killer. He may have been the original Ripper, the one who started it all. Prater, desperate for connection, took on his legacy. Blessing, through family ties, may be carrying markers of it without even knowing. And Gigi, well, she may be carrying the blood of the Ripper himself. One killer begins, another imitates, another inherits. That's why the Ripper never goes away, because the Ripper isn't one man at all. It's a curse that lives on. And honestly, this theory makes more sense than the Jonah Mitchell idea. Jonah showing up in New York years later feels cheap, but a Ripper that's more than a man, one who survives through family, through symbols, through disciples. That's the kind of reveal Dexter Resurrection is building toward. So what do you think? Are the cat statues a secret code? Is Blessing really cursed? And could Gigi be the Ripper's daughter, carrying the bloodline of New York's most feared killer? If you're still watching, drop 2 Rippers in the comments. Let's see how many of you are brave enough to carry this theory forward. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the discussion, because the New York Ripper's secret is only getting darker from here.